Yeah. Stream crash. I don't know. OBS crash. OBS crash. Okay. Hmm. Well, that was annoying. That was fucking annoying. Hmm. That was annoying. All right, well, we're back. Hmm. All right. Well, let's do. I don't want to do Wordle as badly. Let's do. Let's start at least with connections and the mini. We'll start with the mini. We'll start with the mini. Lock in for the mini. We lock the fuck in for the mini. Play without an account. All right. Get a load of. Army shirt. Camo fatigues. Fatigue? That might be right. Chicago trains. I don't know. Wand waving org. Wand waving. I don't know. Flowers depicted in classical Chinese art. Ooh, I got nothing for you. By oneself, alone. I don't even. Around the world in 80 days. No idea. Something read in the divination method of tasseography. What the fuck are you doing to me right now? Tea leaves. Fuck. Tea leaf? Maybe. Sci-fi hero with the line, never tell me the odds. Why don't I know this? Am I an asshole? Maybe. Where a story takes place. Setting? But then it's not fatigue. But I think it is setting. Might also not be tea leaf then, but might be. Uh Lather, rinse, or repeat. Wait, where is that? 5 down. Where the fuck is 5 down? Not 100% sure. Take a look for yourself. Go see. Places to get pampered. Spas. Eggy holiday drink. Nog. Army shirt. Something top. Camo. Chicago trains. I got nothing for you. Flowers depicted. It's not. I don't know what it is. Pennies? Pennies? Sci-fi hero. How do I not know this? Lather, rinse, or repeat. Ska. Ba 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 ba. Fix this. Make it slightly better for mobile. Chicago trains. 3 minutes is so pathetic. I don't know. Sci-fi hero with the line, never tell me the odds. Starts with ham? Lather, rinse, or repeat. Ski. I don't know. Phileas Ferb? If only. If only. Well, backseating allowed. I'm getting cooked. Damn, we did. I feel like I did pretty well, and then I just got stumped by these. Peonies? It's like peonies, isn't it? Sci-fi hero. Ham. Scap. Am I wrong about something? You got the well, we'll see. What the fuck? Lather, rinse, or repeat. Is it peonies? Might not be peonies. Yeah, I'm cooked. Reveal word. Peonies, but this is still a P. The fuck? I think I know a couple. What? Lather, rinse, repeat. I mean, it could literally only... Is it not camo top? Wait. Kind. ILO. I don't think that's right. Loud ass fucking... Holy shit. I don't know how much backseating you want. I'm open to anything. Thing is very wrong. There's no way it's ILO. 8 should be different? Okay. I feel like Tea Leaf might likely be right. Kind. Ilk. It's kind like that way. Where a story takes place, setting. Get a look for yourself, go see. Spas is still right. Tank top. Motherfucker. Okay. Lather, rinse, or repeat. Oh, these are steps. And then Hank. Hankalo. Fuck. Gotta be Hankalo. Well, Chicago trains are not elk, I don't think. Is it this? I mean, yeah, it is. Chicago trains. I just don't know shit about Chicago trains. Sci-fi hero, never tell me the odds. You're gonna beat yourself up when you figure it out? Yeah, I'm 100% sure that's true. Coaching in 1 minute. Is 13 different? I don't think it is. Alright, I'm just gonna reveal this. It was fog. Fuck. It hurts. It hurts. That is the slowest mini I have ever done. By probably several minutes. I believe it is 10 a.m. in his time. All right, we're about to do coaching. Am I already in a Discord for this guy? Okay. Hey, how's it going?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can. How you doing?
Perfect. I'm all good. How about you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
My name is Kostas, by the way. How can I call you?
Curtis, I'm Riley.
You are Riley?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Riley.
Same
So,
to you.
what do I know about you? I think nothing, right? You didn't tell me anything about yourself, about your situation.
Probably not. Maybe. Yeah. I was in like gold 1 earlier this season. I'm currently silver 2 or 3. I play top. I'm trying to main Urgot. I just started playing Urgot somewhat recently, but I have a ton of Nasus and Yorick, so I'm keeping them for counter picks. Yeah, what else do you want to know?
How can I help you best, also? Like, what do you want to get out of this session?
It's a good question. I think whatever you think is like most useful, if it's like live playing, if it's reviewing a VOD. I feel like a lot of times I learn fairly well from things happening live, but I'm opening to whatever, or I'm open to whatever. Yeah, in terms of like actual improvement goals, I'm like kind of split between I should uninstall this game and I really want to keep playing this game and get good at it. And so if I ignore if I ignore the part that wants to uninstall, then like I really like streaming and I would love to get to the point where I could stream this game as an actual person who is good at it. But part of me is like, I should just stream other games at this point. But I don't know. For the sake of this coaching session, let's pretend I'm trying to actually get good at this video game.
All right. Let me say this then. We can do any type of coaching you want. You have full control of how the session progresses, but I can always give you my recommendation, as you said, right? So live coaching is not something I would recommend for a first session.
Okay.
I think it's impossible to learn when I'm just telling you things and I don't have the time to explain why I say. Like, it will be just like me showing you how to win the game without giving you the knowledge of how to actually do this.
Yeah.
Does this make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So in this case, I would recommend starting with a VOD review to see what is your actual gameplay level and to see what things we should talk about.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Can I have your PTZ in this case?
Yeah. Let me see here. You asked for OPGG, right?
Yeah. Let me search them for you really quick.
Oh, I just sent in Discord as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you see my stream?
Yeah.
All right, let's choose one recent game then. What about this one? Do you think it's a good game?
Potentially. I almost want to pick a game where I played reasonably well but still lost, because I find that there's a lot of games where I feel like I am doing okay, but I just couldn't quite carry. Like maybe the 7-4, the 12-5-5 would maybe be good. Where it's like clearly I didn't do like horribly, I don't think, but I couldn't carry it.
Okay, let's see this one.
Cool.
Let's see this one. Okay, just wait until it loads. I don't know, it takes so long. Let's wait a couple more seconds, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, it should be loading now. Okay. Let's see your gameplay.
This will be fun because I don't remember at all what I did this game.
You're waiting here in case he steps up, or what is the...
That's
Okay.
like I've seen Quante does that a lot whenever he wants to fight level 1. That's like his general recommendation is like waiting there and trying to like if she walks up to the wave trying to like get behind her because you're like level 1, you can trade as long as she hasn't sacked her Q. Oh
Oh,
Jesus.
you're really aggressive.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. Oh wait, was this from today?
Does this work? Let's see if it works. I think you have not enough damage, right?
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
not. Yeah, this was
You hit the
psychopathic.
Q, plus C because it has no flash also, right? But what if she just exhausts here? Like even if, like I think with exhaust, like if you see, she literally just walks away. You don't have enough damage to... But it's okay. It's good to try these kind of things because this is how you learn, right? When you watch this, you can learn your limits. Like level 2, maybe you don't have enough damage if you have this amount of HP, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So this is only good, but only if you actually do something about it after. When you do this kind of stuff and you don't watch the replay after to learn, the same thing will be repeated over and over again, you know, so you don't really learn. When you try this kind of stuff, you must review after to actually get better. So next time, it is going to be a bit better. Do you actually do this, or do you watch your own games?
Sometimes. I haven't been recently, though. I should more.
Let's say percentage-wise, how many games do you actually review?
In the past month, like 0. Back in the day, probably like 20%, maybe.
20% is not bad. You can do 30%, I think. So one out of 3 games. You don't have to watch the whole game. Just watch the laning phase, like the first 14 minutes. Okay, you don't have to watch so many games in your level of play. You have to play more, I think, but you still have to review a bit to have minimum amount of progress.
Yeah.
If there's no review, like I think it's really hard to learn. Like even from this session or from anything, like if you don't watch at least some of your games, you won't improve. No matter what we say here. Like I want to be clear with this.
Yeah.
It is really hard to improve without watching your own games.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you cast the wave, and then you can't really dive, of course, so you probably wait. What do you usually like this? Let's see. I think you just have to wait for him to do last hits. Like this is going to be lost, this is going to be lost. Like this is so easy for him to dodge. He doesn't have to be here right now. Just wait until he goes for last hits, so you can guarantee the Q. Your hitbox with the Q is so big also, like it's really hard to miss. Like this minute, for example, you could use Q here and you would take the damage.
Yeah.
This is just small, but this is something, right? So let's see what you do now. You work for jungler. Okay, this is really good. Yeah, but this never works. It just go away. Yeah, exactly.
I should have eat out sooner. I remember this game, but not a big deal,
Yeah.
I guess. Oh
And
yeah,
now
then
you go-
this.
Yeah, Kaz explains really bad here.
Yeah.
So the problem with this is when you play top lane, you can never leave lane. Whatever value you get here, like whether you kill him, whether you get double kill here, this is never worth. Like if it means that you lose one wave, like this big of experience under the turret. When you play top lane, mid lane, or bot lane, like basically when you play lane, you can never leave your lane, like in the early game. The game punishes you so much if you leave your lane, because there are platings and there are minions. You need to get the experience, like of minions. This is your only source of experience. When you kill someone, you get no experience. So if you don't farm in your lane, you always stay behind in levels, and this is really bad. When you level up, you get 500 gold worth of stats, and this gold is transferred to you immediately. Like the extra HP, the extra damage, the extra armor, the extra attack speed you get when you level up. This is roughly worth 500 gold. Okay, so the gold you get here is not so relevant. Like you just have to stay in levels, and you're always fine in the game. But if you don't, and you lose XP, your opponent will always be level ahead of you. Like this guy, look at him now. He's 2 minions away from level 5, right? Let's see. Now you're level 4. You get this. Let's see how much XP you have. You are half a level behind right now.
Yeah.
Of him. This is huge. Like if he consistently punch his lane right now, and you do the same, you're always going to be level behind. So he will always be getting level first, and he can always abuse it if he plays properly. We will talk about this later on. But the problem here is what? You are stuck in lane right now, right?
Yeah, that too.
You're in a position to be in lane. So you lost like half a level of XP, and you come to lane in this position for what? What did you get here? And what could you get also? Okay, you could kill Kindred. Like even in the best scenario where you also kill this guy, this is still not worth for you. You should never make plays that are not worth for you in the first place. Like even if it means helping your team, you should not play for your team. You should play for yourself. Understand how to carry the game with your champion and your play style, and play according to it. Don't follow the plan of someone else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, now you recall. Okay, I think that's enough. We will come back to this, okay? Let me. Oh wait, the stream is open, right? Yeah. You can see, right? Okay. What you need is fundamental training. Like at least in my opinion, your fundamentals is very bad. But this is also obvious because you are in a low level of gameplay, right? Like, let's say that I was not expecting you to know most of these things, but it's good to talk about them, I guess. Now that we can see this, you need to understand how to play your lane properly. You need to understand how to manage your wave, how to trade with your opponent, how to use your power spikes. Okay, this is what I think you need right now. So do you want to talk about wave management first, and then we can see, or?
Sure. I will say, I feel like in terms of like base fundamentals, there's a lot of things that I like could answer on a paper test, but like don't necessarily apply in game. Like I've watched a ton of Alois, I've watched a ton of Quante, I've watched a ton of like there's a ton of concepts that I feel like everything you said about like getting the stats from XP and not leaving your lane is something that like, again, like on a test I would answer that correctly, but just in the moment I don't apply it because I'm like, I see Kindred low and I'm like, all right, maybe I'll just go for her, it'll be fine. So I will
just get baited based on the moment is what you're saying. Just see something and you're like, okay, let's go get value there.
Yeah, I feel like my like game knowledge is way above my like ability to execute that in an actual game. Like I think my hands are horrible, and I think my game knowledge under pressure is a lot worse than my game knowledge in the abstract when it's not under pressure.
When you say under pressure, you mean while you're playing, or?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
okay, so why are you under pressure while you're playing?
I guess just like the time pressure to make like quick decisions, I guess I would say like whenever I have to make the like split decision of like, do I chase Kindred into river here versus like not, it's like on the VOD review I can see that was a mistake, but in the actual game it's just like, she looks so free, let's just kill her real quick, and then it kind of drags out and I lose like however many minions worth of XP, and yeah.
What can help with this is having a plan. I think when you have a plan and you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, it's really hard to get baited by these kind of situations because you know if they take part of your plan or not, right? Like if chasing Kinder here is a plan of yours and you think it's good in this game based on the dynamics of the game, you do this instantly. Like if you don't think it's a part of your plan, you don't do this and you don't get baited. You do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So having better understanding of fundamentals, like I think helps a lot with that because you play the laning phase according to your wave, right? So you know that okay, this is my matchup. This is how I'm supposed to play the wave this game. Does my wave allow me to make this wrong? Does my wave allow me to recall these situations? Like I think it's really hard to make these kind of mistakes if you are knowing what is supposed to be happening, you know? Or at least this is how it is for me. I don't know. Hopefully it's for you as well, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So wave management. Okay. What is your understanding? Like, do you have to explain very simple stuff like what a freeze is, or do you know about these things, about minion movements?
Yeah, for sure. Like freezes, slow push, fast push, proxying, like.
Yes. So on top lane, wait, what is this? On top lane, we have 3 champion categories. We have bruisers plus assassins. We can put them in the same category. We have tanks, and we have ranged tops. Okay, these are the 3 champion categories, let's say. These 3 champion categories benefit more or less from different wave states, the things we said before. So we have freezing, we have slow push, we have hard push. You know about these things, you said, but you don't really know how to use them maybe. This is where many people struggle. So when you play the game, you need to understand what part of this category does your champion belong. And same thing for the opponent. Okay, so you can understand what wave state you want to have so you can benefit from. I would say 8 out of 10 times per game, per laning phase, of course, you benefit from one of these specific categories based on your champion category. And there are 2 out of 10 where maybe something else works for you momentarily. Okay, so you need to figure this out before the game starts. So when the game starts, you know what to do. So you don't have to think about this during the game. You must, let's say, free your brain from this kind of stuff that you can think before the game starts, right? Let's say you play bruiser against a range top, for example. What is the wave state that benefits you most of the time?
I mean, if I could hold, well, let me think about this. Bruiser versus a range top. I mean, it feels somewhat context dependent. If I'm thinking about like Nasus,
This is the context. Yeah. You play bruiser, he plays range. This is your context. Yeah. This is all you need to know.
I would think a lot of times holding a freeze to try to like if I'm able to hold the freeze and call for a gank, I would think that would be a good thing.
To hold the freeze, you must create the freeze. Is this what you want to do in lane? This is what I'm asking. Like I'm not asking.
It feels like, to me, it still feels context dependent, just in the sense of like, I feel like it would be different for like if it's a Heimerdinger, I don't have a choice. A lot of times I'm just going to get pushed in. But if it's like a Vayne, maybe I can hold the freeze. I don't know.
You're thinking more details than you think. You're putting actual gameplay inside. You really shouldn't. We just talk about champions, okay? Like the Heimerdinger will try to push you, but if you play better, maybe you don't let him push, you know? Maybe you can create what you want. So just think about champions. You play this champion, he plays this champion. What is supposed to be happening?
Like, are we just as a general rule, or like from? I feel like I'm thinking way too specific. Yeah. I mean, simple. As a bruiser, I would assume freezing would be the best thing. In range. Because I would assume like since they're a range top, most of them are like pretty vulnerable to being ganked, and it would be difficult for me to get the push as a melee champ into the range anyway, unless I'm pretty ahead.
Okay, so let me explain. What you say is half correct. So when you play bruiser against range top, for example, you want to go for freezing. one reason is ganks. When a wave is like this, you can gank, right?
Mhm.
He is vulnerable to ganks, so it is easy to kill. When you play Bruiser, it also has to do with your agents in lane. How can you benefit in lane by being a Bruiser or by being a range stop or by being a tank? How can you snowball the game, you know? How can you get gold? When you play Bruiser, what do you have? You have maybe good mobility, maybe good sustain, good abilities to force fights, 2v2 fights, 1v2 fights, 1v1 fights. So you want to fight your opponent because you have better kit to fight. And if you fight, most likely you're going to win, right? So you want to kill your opponent in lane, whether by him being overextended and he gets ganked, or by killing him yourself. Like if you force a freeze and you stand like here on top of the wave to defend the freeze, when he goes close, you have all this space to fight him, right?
Mhm.
So it's easy. What does he have? He's immobile, he's squeezy, so it's easier for you to kill. Like if it's a fair fight 1v1, both are full HP, you most likely win. So if you force a freeze here, you put him in this situation. He either has to overextend to break the freeze or he can't really farm, right? But if he does this, maybe you can kill him, maybe he gets ganked, or he can stay behind, you can't kill him, he can get ganked, but he slowly bleeds out. So both situations work for you. This is what you want to achieve when you create a specific wave state. What benefits you the most, okay? So the correct answer is this. Bruisers / assassins want to freeze, usually, because they have the kit to fight and they want to create situations where they can fight. If your opponent knows that he wants to win the fight, he won't fight you unless he has a good reason to, you know?
Mhm.
What about range stop from their perspective? You play against Bruiser Assassin. What do you want to go for?
That's a good question. I mean, as a range top against the Bruiser, I mean, I feel like you would want a slow push to build up a big wave and then crash it, and then on the bounce back, potentially set up a freeze.
Okay, let's say you do this. So you set up a slow push, you crash it, then it bounces, and when it reaches here, you freeze. How do you benefit from this?
You could potentially deny the enemy top CS, but I mean, as I'm saying that, I'm like, I feel like maybe that's wrong because, like, in my mind, I'm like, you could then try to zone the enemy off of the wave and poke them down and not let them touch the wave. But maybe it would be better to actually keep them shoved in. I mean, I feel like a lot of range tops just kind of like perma shove under tower and then look to like
Yes, they
roam
do.
and help their team. But a lot of times it feels like, because I play like mostly early game scalers, so like if I'm on like Nasus or Yorick, usually if like a Vayne is just like permanently pushing me under tower, I'm just kind of like thank you, and it just feels like
Yeah.
they're giving me a gift. But I feel like against other champions it would probably be more effective. So maybe it's more of like a range top is more of a either slow push or hard push.
So range stop is always slow push. Okay, you almost always want to slow push. Why is this? Using the same logic, what do you actually have to win the lane, like in your kit? You are squeezy, as we said. You are immobile, so you can't really fight. You don't really want to fight. Because of this, you want to create HP disparity. Like as I said, if a straight fight breaks in between Bruiser and range top, the Bruiser will always going to win because he has better kit. But if we change the HP here, like if range is full HP, Bruiser is half HP, then we can say that the fight becomes much closer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can argue that by having a freeze here, you are safe, but you're not really achieving what I explained before. You're not really winning right now. Like if you make a freeze here, maybe you can go even, but when you have agency to win the lane, you don't want to go even. Like if I put a challenger player to play for your account, do you think he will freeze here? He will go 0-0-0 and then hoping to win the game? No, he will find a way to destroy the lane. When you play range, your agency is poking. Okay, you have good range, maybe you have good wave clear, so you have to play around this. The Bruiser will get gold by killing you. You have to get gold by having more CS than him because of poke and by hitting turret to get plates. This is how you can get gold. This is how you can snowball. Now, of course, there are some specific tops, like as you said, some tops just permapush and then go kill the team. Like if you play queen, yeah, this can be a good strategy, but queen is just one champion. All the other range tops, like whether they are AD carries or they are control mages, they usually have the same logic behind them. They can't really roam. They don't really have the kit to fight. Okay, they roam, but what will the Vayne do if she roams? You know, does she have a kit to fight? No, she needs setup. If there's no setup, then the fight is a flip. So she just wants to win lane by poking you down. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So range top have to make slow push because this is making their poke much easier. When they make freeze here, very realistically, it's very easy to break. Like you can't really kill like your opponent here. You can only poke him. Like if I go here and literally just go push the wave, I trade most of my HP. That's a big wave. Like I'm 20% HP right now. Now I cast the wave, and you just use your spells, or you just use your auto attacks, and you don't have them anymore. Like if you're talking about spells, you don't really have them anymore. So I just take your full spell rotation. I'm low. I cast the wave. I go recall. I regen. I come back to base with items. You're stuck between this turret and this wave, and next wave is pushing towards me, and I come back to lane with more items. So it's really easy to break the freeze of a range top. Like it's really hard to maintain this from their perspective, just because it's really easy for the opponent to break it by trading some of their HP. Like if I have a freeze with Bruiser and you try to trade your HP to break this freeze, good luck doing that. I'll just engage and kill you. But range can't really do that as efficiently. Okay?
Yeah.
When you make a slow boost, like the most fundamental difference between slow and hard boost, by the way, is literally the amount of minions you cast under the enemy turret. Okay? Here, we have a wave, right? This is going to be pushing towards this side, okay? Here, as range, you have the option to either slow or hard push. When you hard push, you just crush 6, 5, 4 minions. When you do this, you literally give the Bruiser the most easy freeze of his life. He just thinks the wave a bit. Now it's 4. He can tank it here. And yeah, he has the most easy freeze in the world. People don't really do this in your level of play, but I'm just saying that they can very easily do this if they know about this, you know? So hard push against Bruisers almost never works. Okay? No matter what you play. When you decide to slow push here, like last hitting, the wave gets progressively bigger, right? The wave becomes like this. This is how the wave looks like. Something like this, you know?
Yeah.
When you crush 12 minions here, or 10 or 11, doesn't really matter, two things happen. First of all, the wave is too close to his turret and too big, so he can't really go and finish. Like maybe he goes and he kills what? 2 or 3 minions, so now it's 9. 9 is still too big. He can't really hold this, so he can't really make a freeze because of this. Okay? And the second thing is, this wave kind of acts like a shield for you. Like we talked about this before, that when you go here, you are overextended, right? Or you can go here. The gank threat here is real, right? But not entirely, I would say. This wave here like acts like a shield because it deals too much damage. So, like if he tries to fight you alone, he can't really do this. It's like fighting against a second champion. So, like even by being here, you are able to be here and crash the wave without being afraid of dying. And when you crash this big wave, you go and poke. The gank threat, like when your opponent is trying a gank like this, he can do this. Like you can't really prevent this, right? So it's going to be 2v2 in theory with the wave, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your opponent here never really wants to take this fight, as I said. Like if he takes this fight right now, he sacrifices the wave. And as we explained before, this is really not worth of him. Even if they try to do something like this, they're committing, like your opponent, I mean, he's committing for a chance of this play to work. And then he's committing again for a chance of him getting the kill. Because imagine if he commits and he doesn't get the kill. He's not happy about this. Like, this will not be worth about him. He gets 1 assist, he loses 10 minions. This is never worth. But even if he gets the kill, it's still not worth. Like, he gets like 300 gold by taking this huge wave. He would get like roughly the half, and he gets 300 times the experience he would get here. Like, it's insane. So from his perspective, he should never want to commit into this play. Like, if you're in a situation where you catch a big wave and you get ganked and he commits, like, even if you die, you should be happy about this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay? So you're kind of ungankable, let's say. You're actually safer like this than by just freezing here. Legit. When you catch this big wave, what happens? You poke. Okay? And this is much easier for you. Your opponent right now, his brain has to focus on two things. He has to focus on last hitting, and he has to focus on dodging your poke. This is not easy thing to do, not even for challenger play. So as long as you use your abilities correctly, like we saw in your game where you use the Q on Urgot like for nothing, just wait until he goes for last hits. And I can guarantee you that most abilities will hit just because he's so focused on doing both, and he really can't. Okay, so this is how you get lead. Now you cast big wave. Now you hit turret. Now you hit him. So this is beneficial for you. And this is how you have to get lead. Like, this is how you get lead as range. This is how you get lead as bruiser. When you play tank, you don't really have a specific category that works for you because you have no agency to win lane. Tanks have usually some damage early on, but if you don't fight them much early, I think it's really hard for them to win lane. They don't really have damage, they don't have wave clear, they don't have poke, they don't really have much to win the lane. So what they want to do is just try to deny what you want to do. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Tanks have no agency in lane. This is why I think it's hard to play tanks and learn the game, because you don't know how to win the lane, because you can't really, right? When you play range or bruiser, you have agency. So you can try to win the lane, and if you make mistake, you can learn. With tank, you just practice how to not lose, which makes no sense if you want to improve, right?
Yeah.
So usually lanes against tanks are free, like as long as you don't troll early, because early they have a lot of base stats, you know? How far so good? You understand everything?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Any questions?
No.
All right, let's see an example. So this is how the game starts, right? 6 against 6. As I said, besides wave management, it is really important to understand how to use your power spikes, specifically level power spikes, because the item power spikes can be different based on the game, right? So they can change, but level power spikes are here no matter what you play, no matter the matchup, okay? And you have to learn how to abuse them. When you are one level above your opponent, as we talked about before, you are much stronger because you have extra ability, or you have, and you have 500 gold worth of extra stats, right? So when you're level 2 and he's level 1, you destroy him. This exists no matter the matchup, okay? Like in every matchup, you're just stronger. So if you force a fight, you will win the fight, and you can benefit from this. How do you do this? When the game starts, no matter what you play again, but we just see this example, right? You have to go to the wave and push really hard, okay? You have to push really hard until you have one extra minion, what we call a minion lead in competitive. So you push the wave, you have one extra minion, okay? You do this so you ensure that when your opponent, when you hit level 2, your opponent will be far away from hitting his level 2, because otherwise, this is not a power spike. Like if you hit level 2, and after 3 seconds he also hits level 2, there's no time to fight, no time to punish, right? You want to ensure that he will not hit level 2 the same time as you. You can do this by just having one extra minion, because now when you hit level 2, he needs to kill 1 minion to get his level 2, and this takes like 5 seconds or something like this. So this is enough time for you to punish him, right? So you have to go and push the wave really hard until you achieve the minion lead. When you have the minion lead, you must mirror the amount of damage your opponent is dealing to the wave. Because if you don't do this, two situations can happen. One, he pushes the wave, but you don't really push. So now he matches your minion lead, and now there's no minion lead, right? Now you're just even. Wait, what is this?
Yeah, that was like auto-corrected your drawing.
Yeah. So you don't really want this. Like you want to defend your minion lead, like in case he starts pushing. So if he pushes, you have to match his push, right?
Hmm?
If your opponent is not pushing the wave, you also don't want to do this because if you continue to push, like after you achieve the minion lead, you end up pushing too hard,
Mm.
and now there's no wave. Now it's traveling very close, and now it crashes, and your opponent can clear this with the help of the turret. Since this is a very small wave, the turret and your opponent clears this immediately. Next wave is coming. There's nothing here to block his path, so minion reset. And they're here again. And now you have no minion lead. Like, now you're even. So, like, it is very important to start to create the minion lead, but it is also very important to maintain this, no matter the situation. You achieve this by just mirroring what your opponent is dealing. Like if your opponent is hitting the wave, hit the wave. If he doesn't, don't hit the wave. Okay? You want the wave to be here when you hit level 2, so you can have this space to punish him. Like if the wave is closer to his turret, maybe this is not possible. Okay? Now, once you achieve the minion lead, you want to fight, right? But if your opponent is smart, he won't give you a fight. Okay? What you can do is try to confuse him. Okay? On top lane, you get level 2 by killing the first minion of the second wave, right? So you need 7 minions. If your opponent is not counting, he can very easily get confused by this. And you hit level 2 and you can punish him, right? But if your opponent is not paying attention to the wave, he will definitely pay attention to what he sees, right? Like when he sees that you're here and you're level 2, he will not fight you, right? He won't give you the fight. So you have to find a way to force a fight before you hit the level 2. You do this by figuring out which minion here gives you level 2. As I said, it's the first minion from the second wave, so 7 minions. And you try to let it die while you are fighting. So basically, like if you get level 2 here, right? There is distance between you. This distance takes 2 seconds, let's say. So when he sees you here, he will move backwards. You move forward, you move backwards, nothing really happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you try to move towards him before you hit level 2, he will just say, okay, this guy's level 1. Let's just fight, right? So you're fighting him here. The minion that gives level 2 is here, and it is dying. You hit level 2 mid-fight, and now he can't really run. He's already committed, yeah, you know? If this happens, he loses flash, summon a spell, or he's half HP, or he even dies, you know? You can benefit so much from this, but you have to surprise your opponent. And this is how you do this, basically. Like if you play also range stop, maybe, you can last hit it from here, right? But if you don't, you can either let it die or last hit it very late with an ability. Like let's say you play, I don't know, Yasuo, you just E through the minion, so you go closer and killing it at the same time, something like this, you know? This also depends on the champion you play, of course. Now, of course, also, to play the fight, you must not have used your abilities before because you want to save them for the fight. Like this is very obvious, but I just have to explain this, you know? And this is how you can benefit from this. I can guarantee to you that this will give you much lead in top lane because people, first of all, never count minions. And some of them, they play for level 2 because they saw it on videos on YouTube, but they will never continue to have this logic, you know. They just think it's less level 2. So maybe level 2 doesn't work if you play against someone that has watched YouTube videos, let's say, and he's consistent about it, but it will never work for them, I mean, after level 2. So level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, you can actually abuse this, and I can guarantee that if you do this properly, this will work 10 out of 10 times because people never expect this. Like even in Diamond, they never expect this nowadays. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You understand everything so far?
Yeah. I feel like...
Any question?
I guess I would say, like, from what I understand, like I feel like sometimes it's a little champion dependent just in terms of like I used to like mostly play Nasus, and I feel like on Nasus it's like a lot of times you don't even want lane priority because it's like you can't even, like, you're not even going to be able to crash it even if you're like level 2 and they're level 1 or like level 3 to their level 2. Like a lot of times it's like if I'm Nasus into Darius, there's no way I'm looking for cryo, I feel like, right?
Yeah,
like,
but Darius is just 1% of the matchups, right? Like against 99% of champions, you can push with Nasus. If you don't, you're playing Nasus wrong. You have your E as Nasus. You are really strong with your E. You can actually push a lot with your E in poke. In hard matchups with Nasus, you don't play for Q stacks. You play just to win the lane. And the extra gold, the extra experience you get from winning lane can kinda compensate for the fact that you have lower amount of stats. But also, knowing this is also beneficial to know how to play against opponents, right? Like now you know what Darius can do to you, for example, and you don't get to fall for it, you know? Like, do you have any questions about this or about anything?
That makes
Can
sense.
I continue? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what you can do about level power strike, okay? Now, like in this example again, let's say you do this all properly, but your opponent is smart, right? And he doesn't fall for it. So he just stays back, you hit level 2, you have control of the wave. The way that waves work right now, if you get to push the wave level 1, you are guaranteed to crash the second wave. Like you can't really slow push for the third wave anymore nowadays. So what happens if you achieve the minion lead and you try to play for this is that you crash second wave, your opponent is farming here under turret, you awkwardly wait here or something like this, or you can go put ward, whatever. And next wave looks like this. Right outside of turret range, 6 against 6, even. How do you call this wave state?
I mean, it's pushing into me.
It's pushing into blue side. So this is a slow push towards blue side. Okay, what do we have here? Bruiser Assassin. What do you want? You want to freeze, right? So you want the wave to be pushing towards you. This is actually pushing towards you. So when it reaches here, if you play properly, maybe you can create a freeze and benefit. What do Reigns want? They want to slow push. So here's a slow push. So here, both sides get exactly what they want, right? How does this work? As I explained before, if your opponent is clueless about the wave, and you are not, you can benefit a lot from this. Like if opponent is clueless here and they hard push, we see what happens, right? You just get a free freeze here. If your opponent is not clueless, he should slow push, and wave gets progressively bigger, and maybe when it reaches here, it's 12. And if it's 12 or 10 or 9, we saw what happens. He just pushes, you can't thin, you can't fight, so you have to accept, he pokes, he wins, okay? So this is how it works. He can use slow push to counter your freeze, like in this example. But there is also the counter of the counter. You can thin the wave to counter his slow push. But thinning is not so easy. You have to do this properly. To understand how to do this, you must divide top lane in 3 parts. Closer to your turret, closer to his turret, and the one in the middle. Like if you go here to thin the wave, right? Since waves are even and they're on a small number, it is very easy to just fuck up and give your opponent a free freeze. You know, like if you kill minions here, this is what happens. You just freeze the wave for your opponent basically, and it's not a slow push anymore. So you can't really thin when so close to his turret, okay? And if you try to thin closer to your turret, where you're safer also, because here you can also get ganked for trying to fix a wave that is pushing towards you, right? And this is such a pity, of course, to play like this to gank. Here is safer, but here the wave has already been successfully slow pushed most of the time. So you run into the same problems. You can't really thin close to your turret most of the times. If you try to thin like in the middle, you have the best chances, like here or here, here, like basically farther away from your side, from the middle, you know, like here, 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 let's say. This is the best part to try to thin the wave. Like if you make a mistake here, you have enough time to fix it most of the times. So you have to, let's say, awkwardly wait while the wave is here. Let your opponent do whatever he wants. If he is smart, he will slow push here. If he's not smart, he will hard push and he will make it easier for you to thin after. And you just have to wait. When the wave is here, you go very slowly and you try to hit some minions. You try to thin the wave. And if you succeed this, maybe when the wave reaches here, it's not 9, it's not 10, it's like 6, 7, and you can go thin a bit more, maybe, and you can have your freeze, and you can benefit from this. Now, of course, this is not as easy as it sounds. When you try to thin the wave here, there is a counter. The counter is him hitting you, right? You hit the wave, he hits you. Simple. And here is where theory ends, basically. Whoever plays better this situation can create his preferred wave state and can benefit from this. Like if you're so good right now, where you can thin the wave and dodge all of his poke, maybe you can freeze after. And if he's so good that he hits all his spells, maybe you don't manage to thin, or maybe you manage to thin the wave, but you lose half your HP. And when the wave reaches here, yes, you freeze for 3 seconds, but then since he's so much healthier, you can't really force him into a fight because you will lose because of HP disparity, and he can break your freeze anyway. Okay? You understand so far?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. No questions?
No, that all makes sense to me.
This kind of mindset regarding wave states can be recycled over and over again in this play. So if you understand this, you understand how to play lane in general, okay, based on your matchup, because this will get repeated over and over again. You just see the wave state, you understand how it looks like, where it pushes towards, what can happen after, and you see what your opponent is trying to do. You know what you are supposed to be doing, and you try to get to your preferred wave state as soon as possible. Or when you have it and you don't have it anymore, you try to recreate this as soon as possible. And at the same time, you know what your opponent is supposed to be doing, and you say that if he's not supposed to be doing, you benefit from this. And if he's trying to do this, you can try to interrupt this because you know what he's going to do, and you can try to interrupt this. You know, this is how lane works regarding wave management. The last thing about this is when you try to thin the wave, it is really important to be sure that this is possible for you. Because if it's not possible, you can get into really bad situations. So in this example, you try to thin the wave, right? But for whatever reason, there can be many reasons, by the way. Maybe because of the nature of the matchup, maybe because you're low in HP, maybe because you're afraid of jungle, you know, for whatever reason. If you can't really thin this wave, you should not try to. So here, based on the nature of this matchup, let's say, you try to thin this wave, but you really can't, and now he pokes you, right? So you go back, you do not manage to thin the wave, and you got poked. So now you're at, let's say, 80% HP. If you don't manage to thin the wave here, what happens? When the wave reaches here, it's 12, and now you can't hold it. He comes here, he crashes. Now you just suffer, you know?
Yeah.
He crashes, big wave, he pokes you for your last hits. Here, your last hit, you get poked in return. How does the next wave look like? Like this. This is pushing towards him. What do we have here? A range stop benefits from slow push. But if you remember what I said before, I said that this is only true 8 or 9 out of 10 times. You will always benefit from something else momentarily. It's just that you most likely benefit from slow push in general. So here we have a slow push for the range stop. For them to create we have a slow push against the range stop, okay, not towards the enemy. So for him to create his slow push, he has to let this wave pass under his turret, and then next wave will be slow push. So this takes too much time, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you got poked here, like as Bruiser under the turret, you lost a lot of HP. So now you're at 50% HP. You lost 30% HP here, 20% HP here, by trying to thin the wave. So now you're at half HP, he's full HP. So my question is this: since this is pushing towards him, what if he tries to attempt a freeze here, right?
Mm-hmm.
The range stop. How likely is it that you will ever be able to break this freeze?
Yeah, you probably cannot with your health.
I think it's very unlikely, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What you have to do is just go to base, recall, regen HP, go back to base. But by the time all of this happens, you lost like 3 waves here, and now you're permanently behind. So there's not really an answer of how to play after this, and it makes no sense to try to. I think you just have to try to understand how to prevent this, not how to play after this happens.
Mm-hmm.
To understand this, you must go all the way back to when you tried to thin the wave. As I said, it is important to understand if thinning the wave is possible before you attempt this. If you know about this here, you don't try this. If he slow pushes here, again, same situation. Wave here is 12, but now you didn't lose 20% of your HP. If the wave is 12 here, he casts big wave and he comes to poke you, right? This is okay. You stay here, you get poked. When he crashes big waves, this is how it looks like. You have like the range minions like here, and you have the melee minions here, like close to the turret, because they have to be melee to hit turret, right? Usually, when you're in this situation, you can hit the melee minions, and you are outside of the range of his poke. So melee minions, like in these situations, you can always get. Ranged minions, if you try to get them, you can get poked. The idea here is this: whatever you do, try to preserve your HP, no matter what. You just have to see, like, this is not something that I can answer you right now. This is based on the nature of the matchup, right? Some matchups can be tougher under turret. Some matchups can be easier, okay? But whatever you do here, no matter your matchup, stay healthy. This is what I'm trying to say. If you have to miss all of your last hits, miss all of them.
Yeah.
And you just get the XP. This is actually fine. Like, you just lost like 7 to 8 minions. This is nothing in the grand scheme of the game. If you get the XP, it is worth. Okay. So here you lose how, like, whatever amount of last hits, you are healthy. Next wave looks like this. This is still pushing towards him. What changes is this. Now you have the HP to trade. When you're in this situation, when he freezes here, right? You are able to literally go here, trade your HP to crush the wave. You go here, you hit the wave, he hits you, because this is the counterplay, right? You get very low, you crush the wave. Now he has to farm against 10 minions. And if you don't die from this and you survive, something that is very likely since you were very healthy and you play against a range like in this example, you can go back to base. He is stuck under turret. You can go buy item, regen, come back to lane with full HP and extra item. And next wave looks like this. So it's slow push towards you. So now you can make freeze. And with extra item and full HP, this can be easier for you to do. Now it has to match your recall somehow, right? Maybe the only difficult part here would be if it is Bruiser against Bruiser, because Bruiser can actually kill you here, maybe, based on the matchup also. But against range, against tanks, against someone, like even if he's Bruiser and he's not so strong, you can still like play around this. But this is the general idea. When you are not having enough HP to trade, your opponent can always freeze, and there's no way out of it. Okay?
Yeah.
So far, so good again?
Yeah, makes sense.
No questions?
No. I think that all makes sense.
Okay, let's see once again. What do you do here?
And for the sake of this, I feel like it's a little like what am I trying to ask? Like, do you view Urgot as more of a range top or as more of a bruiser?
I think it's something in between.
Yeah.
But he's mostly range, I think.
Okay.
He plays like range. He has more characteristics like range, but he can also engage like a bruiser, let's say, or assassin. He has like fighting stats, but he mainly wants to focus on getting more CS first, to crash big waves, to poke a bit under turret, and like this, because he's not fully bruiser, right? He has weaknesses of range champions. So if he fights straight 1v1 against most bruisers, and you're like even, you most likely lose if the bruiser plays it better, just because of your weaknesses, You don't really have the best combat stats,
Yeah.
Well, they have. So you have to poke a bit first and then look for leads. But not in most, like, not in every matchup. Like in most Mass Effects like this, I think. Okay, so here you have your minute lead, kinda. Now you don't, but now you can do this, of course, because this is how your matchup works. Like you just have better champion,
Mm-hmm.
and now you can focus on your. You see, now you get level 2. There is so much distance between you.
Yeah.
Like this level 2 power spike here goes extremely wasted. Look at how much distance
Yeah.
exists between you. There's no level 2 right now. This minion gives you level 2. Why don't you have to just let it die? Like, look at this minion. This is being focused by all of these 3 minions. This will just die like in 3 seconds. Why do you have to farm it yourself? Just to walk towards here and use E. You can actually use plus E here, I feel like. Maybe, and even kill here, you know? But now, she will also get level 2, you know? Like, this is literally the difference. He hits level 2 here. Oh, wait, it doesn't hit level 2. But she will hit, I think, right? It hits. Yeah, this minion here. Look.
Yeah.
Now you flash. You are born here. This minion dies. It levels up mid-fight. You see?
Yeah.
This extra HP that she got saves her here. But if you try this a bit faster, there will never be enough time for this minion to die for her to get level 2, you know?
Yeah.
Here, she heals for, let's see, 210, 215. She heals for 90 HP here with level up. How much HP does she have now? 150, 140, 30. This would be much closer. Like, I think you actually kill her there. Because now she gets extra armor also. And this armor saves her. Like, the extra 40 HP she has here, you could actually kill her. Like, if you don't do it like this.
Yeah.
And you play with level 2.
That does make sense. Yeah.
Now you have to catch this because, as I said, you can't really, like, locus too much unless you fight them. And now you awkwardly wait. You could use your Q to poke it down. And now, what does she have to do? If she wants to cast a wave, she has to slow push.
Yeah.
If she wants to freeze, she has to cast the wave. So, like in any case, it's good for her to slow push here, to have more minions to play the fight in case a fight breaks in. What do you want to do?
I want to thin the wave.
You also want to slow push. You want to thin the wave, but here, it's in the wave. Like, this is too close again. This is not a freeze right now. Like, look, you only have like 1 extra minion. This is nothing. You need like 3, 4 extra to make a proper freeze. You have to wait here. You can't really do much. And yeah, you can also get ganked. Like, if you don't have to thin the wave here, you don't really have to be here now. Just be an experience. The experience is like here right now. Here.
Yeah.
I mean, this gang will never work anyway because they have no amount of setup. They just walk towards you, you awkwardly walk back. This is just how it works when there's no setup, right? But still, here, you can afford to be healthier. Maybe if you're healthier, you can thin the wave when this is here, and you don't give her a good recall, you know? Now you have to recall. I mean, about this we'll talk about, of course. We don't have to talk more. Now she recalls. Now you have to sum how much she recall. But you play Ignite. Not saying that you shouldn't play Ignite, but look at this now.
Yeah.
So you're fucked right now, right? We agree on this. You are fucked because you have a wave pushing towards your opponent, who is a bruiser, and she can freeze. And if she freezes, maybe you die. And then she's coming back to base with item lead. Okay, so you have to somehow match her recall. This is what is your goal right now. You can't really fight. You can't do anything. You're useless. You just have to find a way to recall without losing as much. How is this possible? Like, if you can hard push this wave, and you can make it crash by abusing the fact that your opponent is in base, right? You can do this. In this situation, I think it's not possible because it's Cannon Wave. Cannon Wave takes extra time to die. Even if it's normal wave, I would say 100% just push as fast as you can. Okay? But Cannon Wave, you can. When you're in this situation, the only thing that can make the situation better, not saying that it will help you get out of it, but it will be better, is to slow push, to have more minions to potentially survive the fight. Right? So here, you need to last hit. You can't hard push here. You have to make the wave be big as possible.
I feel like even with the
Now
big wave in this situation, it's like I feel like I'm just cooked no matter what because I have no mana. I'm like half HP. Like I felt like I just needed to take this recall because even with this, like even with a minion advantage, I feel like I'm just toast.
I think what you say is most likely right. Your chances are not good here, but you have to try to make the best out of it. How to do this? Last hit. Save your mana. You have 6 mana here. What do you do here? You use Q. What do you use Q? Now you're about to level up. You will get more HP, more mana. Like here, you are half HP right now, and you have like 200 mana, right? Roughly 150, 200. This can be enough. Maybe not, but it's your best chance, like is what I'm saying. You should still try to stay here to push this wave, because if not, you lose even more. Maybe you die for this, but even if you die, like if you crash the wave, this is actually worth. Like, no joke, it's actually worth. Because what happens now is even worth. Now you will be forever behind. She has the easiest freeze of her life. Once you come back to lane, she will be 5.5 level. So she will be almost 1 level above you. She will hit level 6 first, and then she gets level 6, and you cannot play the game. The moment you come here, she uses E, ulti, you have no flash, she just catches you, you die.
Yeah.
But you can choose to potentially die now to fix the wave, instead of having to always thinking about dying after, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you either risk here and potentially die, but you fix everything, and then you don't die anymore. Or you can just live here, lose so much here, and then play always in its advantage, like this lane. But what does she do?
To me, it's
she do this?
still, yeah.
Yes.
To me, it still feels like there's like a risk of trying to crash it and ideally not die, but like if I die, I understand it's worth to fix the wave, but like still just being unable to crash it because she is just so much stronger than I am.
Yes,
Like,
but you can see that people make mistakes in this level of play, right? This guy here has the easiest freeze of his life, and what does he do? He fixes it for you. Literally, he fixes it for you.
Well, but in this case, wasn't it kind of worth it for him since he can crash it anyway?
Why? He just denies you everything. You lose all of the minions here.
I guess that's
like you lose everything here.
But if he can crash it under turret and then get, like, he can potentially play for a plate and then still get a freeze later, right?
Where is the plate?
Yeah, I guess that's true. He doesn't have a plate.
But even if there is a plate, like, it's not about how much your opponent gets, like in these situations. Like, it's about the difference between you. Like, if she gets 125 gold here by putting the wave here and then making it start a slow push from here and giving you a slow push, which is what you want, right? Or choosing to have a freeze here forever, what do you think is more valuable? Like, giving your opponent a slow push by getting 125 gold, or maintaining a freeze here, and then she doesn't get 125 gold, but the difference between what you lose, what she gets, like in terms of minion, like here you lose minions, right? Is always like more than 125. Like if you lose 6 minions here, this is more than 125 here. So it creates the difference not by getting gold, by having you lose gold here. You see? Now she casts his waiver. Okay, maybe she could get this. Like even if she could get this, what is this? This is slow push for you. What does she has to give you a slow push?
Yeah.
Now she gives you a freeze here, like she gives you everything here. You see? But now he will hit level 6. You see the difference in levels. You are 1 level behind here because of what you did. You will never be able to abuse level power spikes for the rest of the game. Okay, you forfeit this by doing this. And I think before where you chose to go for Kindred, not being able to abuse level power spikes is terrible. Like here, she's afraid. By the way, she's afraid of what? Level 5 Woodcut. She has to kill 1 minion like here to get level 6, and she's afraid. You see how people think they don't play for power spikes. She probably doesn't even know that he's level 5. Sorry, level 6. And of course, if you do this, you will not engage like this. Now she sees this.
Now she's recalling?
Now she's recall. Yeah, she's afraid of level 5 Urgut, I guess.
Yeah, that is crazy.
What do? You slows. Okay. Now you hit your level 6, and now you have to crash this wave. Or she freezes again. This is good work, because you are about to overextend. But I think you can just crash it right now, no? Like without even this. Like you see, wait, do you see Kindred? No, you don't see. Okay. Yeah, just crash this, and now you have to match Jericho. You have to go here like this. Yeah, exactly. To make sure it crashes. Now you either poke under turret, or you recall.
Oh, what am I doing?
You're just not hitting, okay. You have to thin a bit. Let's see if you thin now. Okay, now she overextends. Really good flush. Now she dies. Perfect. Now you have to go here and fix this wave. Yeah, exactly. And this is good. This is really good. I like this. You will fix this, but you will be on time. Yeah, this is not bad actually. It's not so bad.
Awesome. That feels good to have done that. Oh yeah, she rushed seal caps.
Yes, now it's hard. Like this is the problem. It's 10 minutes into the game and you have no lead. It is really hard to win games when you have no lead. And you see how easy it is to have lead, like if you play properly in the early game. Like if the games are like this, you will not win 6 or 7 out of 10 games. You need to win this amount to be able to be impactful and carry the game. If you are like this, or you have a disadvantage, you will win 5 or 4 out of 10, like all the time. And you can't really climb like this, you know.
For sure.
As I said before, watching games is only worth like before minute 14. Like after this, you don't really have to watch much, because laning phase is what is important, you know.
Yeah.
You don't really care much like about what happens in the mid to late game. I think you need to focus on what is more important first, which is, for me at least, is laning phase. We can argue that, like in your level of play, you can improve at everything, right? You can be better mechanically, better at team fights, better at laning phase, better at everything. But if you try to improve at all of them at the same time, I think you will just get more confused. Focus on laning phase, which is what is more important right now, and then we can see the rest, you know.
That makes sense. I will say though, I do feel like I do have a particular weakness for like, I feel like there are a lot of games where I am the ace. Like I feel like there are a lot of games where I will win my lane. I don't know how it looks recently, but just like in terms of like overall historically, there's a lot of games where like I will win my lane and then I just feel like I'm not able to carry the game. And I feel like a lot of times it's just like macro decisions of like I will be pushing a wave because I'm like, I should push the wave right now, but then my team just gets wiped and it's like, well, okay, I probably shouldn't have been pushing the wave, and my team got engaged on and lost 5v4 without me when I'm the most fed member. And like, I feel like stuff like that happens all the time where I'm just like ahead, but yeah.
It's just your perspective of the impact that these things have that creates this illusion, in my opinion. So my perspective is this: these situations for sure happen, and for sure, if you have a better decision making, like the mid late game, for sure you can always have better chance of winning the game. But it's about what is more simple for you to win the game. You can win your lane the way you do, and you can be in a position to win the game with decision making in mid to late game, or you can carry lane so hard that mid to late game doesn't really matter. And if you ask me what is more simple between these two, I will always say win lane. The challenger players who smurf, they don't care about mid game because mid game doesn't exist in their game. They end the game in minute 20, like before Baron spawns. How do they do this? Why is it so simple for them? There's no challenger player that will ever play from low account and will wait to scale for mid to late game to carry the game through decision making.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen simply because carrying the game through early game is just so easy. When you are playing from ahead, it's easier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you put your opponent behind, it's also much harder for them to play. Like, remember, there are people who don't want to play with each other, who are most likely tilted with each other, who don't really have the mentality to play from behind and like be patient to find the opportunities to come back into the game. When in lower elo, we have comebacks. These comebacks are not because the enemy team that was permanently behind sit down and said, okay, let's be serious, let's try to scale, let's not give them more opportunities. It is always because the team that is ahead throws.
Mm-hmm.
But if you understand how to win lane and you play according to your plan and you know what you're supposed to be doing, it's really hard to throw. I mean, sure, some games you will lose because of your team, but you should not care about how your team plays. You should just care about playing your plan, trying to achieve this and carry through it. And your teammates are just riding the wind bus along with you. This is the only healthy mentality I think you should have in this level of play.
Yeah.
Just try to carry every game by yourself and your team just gets carried with you. And some games for sure will be unwinnable. No matter how well you play, some games are just going to be unwinnable. Maybe because of your team, maybe because of the draft, maybe because of I don't know, some unlucky stuff happens, you know. But you can win at least 8 out of 10. There will always be 2 games out of 10 that you will lose, but the 8 out of 10, if you play properly, you can win. Or at least this is how I see it, you know.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay, Riley. So, anything I should repeat? Any questions? Anything else to do?
No, I think that all makes sense.
All right. Looking forward to see your progress then. In case you have any questions that you don't remember now, feel free to always message. I can always answer to this kind of stuff.
Sounds great. Well, I really appreciate it. This was very helpful. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear this. If you want, I can give you the link to my Discord also, where I post coaching material. Maybe you can find something interesting.
Yeah, sounds great.
There you go. All right. So wish you good luck with climbing, improving, and with your stream as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. That was pretty good. I feel like the last coaching we got, I feel like I might have absorbed things a bit better. I feel like I was a little tired this time as well. But I don't know. I feel like that was still really good. I think looking at the thing where we got, like looking at the play where we got the kill on the Kindred and realizing how bad that was definitely the thing that stood out to me the most in terms of like, yes, we got the Kindred. It isn't worth at all. And just kind of realizing why that is in terms of like the wave states, the level up timers, the XP. That is like very interesting to think about. I am debating if we now play one because I am pretty fucking tired, to be honest. I am pretty fucking tired. And I don't know if it is a great idea. No, that yawn. I want to play to kind of lock this in. But, yep, I'm going to agree with that. I agree. Here's the thing, though. Just to close out the stream. I am going to do the connections because I love the connections deeply with all my heart. I think the connections is the most fun word game. Get the fuck out of here, spelling bee. So we're gonna do this. Take notes of some real. I feel like I'm still debating if I actually want to improve at League or if I just want to go all in with the other games. I think League is cool. I think the answer is I don't make the decision now. I make content on YouTube for both of those things, and then I make the decision after like seeing how that content performs over time, seeing how much I enjoy making that content, seeing how I feel about the quality of the content. I feel like if the goal is to grow the stream, that is the play. Because I enjoy doing both. It's not about what I enjoy. I enjoy doing both. I don't know. Something to think about. Fucking, let's do connections. Walker, Butler, Stroller, Jogger. I don't know if Butler, Ranger. Capri, Jean, Jogger. Slack, that's obviously one. Bib, Bottle, Stroller. Baby Monitor. I'm locked in. This one also seems kind of easy, not gonna lie. These are all sports teams without the S. Rangers, Mets, Nets. The fuck is Gay, Butler, Hooks, Walker? Last names of something? Black women authors. Okay. I exposed myself there. Unlucky, but we got it. But we got it. At what cost? Okay, well, in any case, thank you a ton to everyone who showed up and supported and watched and followed and all that good stuff. Thanks for chilling until the end. And yeah, I'll be live, should be live tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure what time. I need to get on a consistent schedule. But I am fucking struggling to do so because unemployment. Unemployment's weird. Being unemployed and trying to have a consistent routine is a little odd, at least to me. I'm still used to the majority of my adult life having responsibilities that have set hours. So it's a little weird, but unemployment's kind of fun. Collecting unemployment's kind of nice. Everything's fine. Audrey, I hope your oh fuck, my back. Oh my god, my back. Hope Netflix is going well. Thank you so much for staying until the end and chatting. Same to everybody from data analytics if any of y'all are still here. Same to everybody in general. If you see anything, let me refer you. Will do. I'd love to get a Netflix job. That would be amazing. I know I've applied to a bunch of them this job hunt. I don't think there's anything right now. But yeah, I'll let you know. I appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to call it. Thanks so much. Have a good night.